Music producers create. Audio engineers enhance the creation. Music producers choose the samples and sounds of the track. Audio engineers make the music fatter and brighter. If you had to choose, which one would you rather be? The creator or the enhancer? Let's get to the mindset of the producer and the engineer when it comes to creating music. If you're wondering which way you should go, should I be a producer or an engineer? You'll be able to make a decision after this episode. Let's discuss. Welcome to another episode of Platinum Lyrics and Beats. I'm your host, Trey Boy. I teach aspiring music producers how to create and sell dope beats online without the confusion and frustration of wondering where to start. On Platinum Lyrics and Beats, we look to assist you in getting started in your music production, engineer, and artist career and help you make some life-changing music and money. What's up, y'all? What's going on? Today, we're discussing the top 3 differences between music producers and audio engineers. It's going to be fun today, man. It's going to be fun. But before we do that, if you're tired of having one foot in, one foot out, and you're looking to start creating beats and becoming a dope music producer, or maybe you have beats playing in your head and you want to get them out your head and produce them right professionally and make some passive income while you're doing that, I have a gift for you. You need to watch the Producer's Blueprint. It has everything you need to get started. I'll show you the equipment you need for new producers, aspiring producers. I'll show you how to create a beat from scratch. And I'll show you how to connect with your fans so you can start selling your beats online, right? That's what we want to do. We want to create and get the music out there. Watching the Blueprint will save you time, money, and frustration. It's less than 30 minutes long. We do that. We waste 30 minutes scrolling on our phones, right? Why not watch the 30-minute Blueprint and find out how you can start creating beats and selling them online? Look, and most importantly, it's free. It's everything I want my aspiring music producers to know when getting started in music production. Look, if you're on your favorite podcast app or you're on YouTube, go to the descriptions below. You'll see the link. You hit the link, it'll take you right to the site. Or if you want to go directly there, just go to aspireproducerslab.com. All right? Now's a great time to get started in being a music producer. Perfect time. All right? Now, let's jump into the top 3 differences between music producers and audio engineers. Both producers and engineers have an understanding about the way music should sound and the concept of a song, right? But the way they approach their assignments are totally different. Okay, let's start with the first difference. The engineer works for the producer, not the other way around. Nowhere in the history of music have I ever seen the producer work for the engineer. Not saying this could never happen, but that's not the ideal situation. Every experienced music producer has his or her own engineer, and they work together on a continuous basis. They usually have their own engineer. That's the way it usually works, right? It's just like having your own chef, your own barber, your own, doctor or whatever you use. It's personal, right? We find our engineers based on style, chemistry, and price. We hire them, not the other way around. The engineer studies the producer, learns the different ways he likes his beats to sound. He likes his beats to be mixed and mastered. The engineer's main job is to use his or her technical skills to make sure that the producer's vision comes to life. The engineer is also responsible for setting up the studio mic, studio session, and mixing board before the producer comes in. Everything should be laid out, all right? The producer is in charge of the vibe of the song. It's his song. He's in the driving seat. The engineer is not going to change anything without the producer's approval. He's just going to enhance everything, right? So check it out. If your engineer knows the concept of your song, he may have some platinum advice to offer. That's always a plus. All right? It's always a plus. Don't get the big head and not listen to your engineer if they've been listening to music for a while. They probably can, elevate the song. Hopefully that's the reason why you're working with them. All right? But to be clear, the producer is in the driver's seat and the engineer is the passenger. To make the most out of the song, you need both. You need both people, right? Two pair of ears is always better. Number two, producers bring the food and engineers season it. The root word for producer is produce. What does produce mean? It means to create, generate, to cause, bring, or do. All of those are action words. Music producers have the responsibility of creating the vision and making it plain, right? We make the recordings, set up the arrangement, and complete the beat or the song. Now listen, this is very important. We can't bring trash to the engineer and expect him to perform a miracle. Rule number one when you're creating music: trash in, trash out. All right? Gold in, platinum out. They're going to enhance the song. This is important for producers to know because the ball is literally in our hands. It's totally up to us to make the product as dope as possible. That's because the producer is largely the creative leader. Now here's the difference. The engineer takes what we create and raise it to a whole nother level. They make sure our beats pop and the song sounds magical. The word engineer originates from the Latin word ingenium, which means someone who solves a problem. And that's exactly what engineers do, right? Audio engineers solve problems for producers. What kind of problems? We want our beats to sound great. We want them to sound untouchable, exciting, bright, heartfelt, clean, crisp, fat, professional, radio ready, and sonically superior. Those are the type of problems we come to engineers with. Hey man, make my music pop. Make this song dope. Make this beat hit hard, man. I've done everything I need to do. I need you to elevate this track. Engineers need a strong understanding of how the equipment works. They control the signal that flows in and throughout the equipment. They running things, man. When you give them the beat, you take it to them, let them do their work. You can have certain say on certain things. I'm not saying give it to them and let them just run off with it. No, I'm not saying that, but let them do their thing on it, right? They know how to get the voice into the microphone or into the preamp and how to work the output gear that will enhance the sounds of the tracks. They have knowledge of all of this, right? They also record with the proper signal change and gain structure because it's important to get the proper recording levels right so you won't have any issues during or after the recording. It's so important. The responsibility of the audio engineer is very technical and it can be hard at times. They're using the complete opposite side of the brain, not the creative side so much. It's more technical, right? Don't take audio engineers for granted. All the beats and songs you listen to that are professionally created have been touched by a dope engineer or a regular engineer, but all of them may not be dope, but hey, if you listen to the song and you liked it, it was hot, most likely a dope engineer, a seasoned engineer did his thing on it, right? Music producers and audio engineers have two different ways of approaching the task, two different ways of listening to music, two different pair of ears, two different ways of going about the whole process. But in the end, it's all to elevate and enhance the song of the production, the song or the beat. I'll leave you with this on point number 2. The biggest ego in the room should only belong to the music. If you're getting into an argument with your engineer all the time, hey, I don't know, maybe the chemistry isn't there, or maybe someone's ego is bigger than the other one, but the ego should belong to the music. All right, lastly, number 3, the difference between music production and audio engineering. The process of music production is more difficult than audio engineering. I know, I'm going to get some kickback, but hear me out. Hear me out before you start dropping your comments, man. Hear me out, all right? Music producers have to know how to use all the studio equipment, the DAW, the MIDI keyboard, MPCs, learn how to sample and handle several other tasks. We create something out of nothing, which is not always the easiest thing to do, all right? We have to have the concept of music theory. We need to know how to at least pre-mix a song or beat before we send it off to the engineer, or we might get cursed out. Don't forget laying all the tracks, right? The creation of everything. We need to know the technical skills to do things like bounce everything down and send it to the engineer in the right format. This doesn't even include promoting the beats online, working with different artists and music supervisors. And look, I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. Music production is very exciting and fun. I love what I do. I would do it even if I wasn't getting paid for it. I would produce music and write songs. It's what I have beats. It's nonstop. I have beats and lyrics in my head all the time. I know that's a calling and a purpose, on my life. I know that. But there's definitely a lot of work involved. I'm not saying it's a cakewalk. That's, what I'm trying to relay here. It's not necessarily a cakewalk. You have to love it, But there's definitely a lot of work involved for the producers before and even after the engineer has mixed and mastered the song. To be real, a producer could have worked on the beat or song for months. But a seasoned engineer that has a system for mixing and mastering can finish that same song in a couple of days or less. He can knock it out. And it's going to be hot, Now, I'm not taking any credit from any audio engineers. Their job is very important, but the work they have to put in my opinion, is way less than a music producer. Not less important, but less work. If we're talking about producing or mastering one particular song, all right? Now, that's just what I believe. These are my thoughts, all right? Platinum Lyrics and Beats. Trey Boy in the building. What's up? Look, I'm open to any comments. If y'all want to drop, any comments below, let me know how you feel about this. Engineers speak up, producers speak up. Let's talk about it. On the other hand, maybe you listening to this episode and you're saying to yourself, I don't know about becoming an engineer, but I am interested in being a music producer. And I would like to start creating beats, making beats and getting paid from it. All right? Music inspires me too. If you don't know where to start in becoming a music producer and you want to learn how to start producing beats, I created the blueprint just for you. Just hit the link below if you're on YouTube or your favorite podcast app, or go to aspireproducerslab.com and I'll give you the whole game A to Z. I got you. Thank you all for supporting the channel, sharing the videos, and giving us a thumbs up, leaving us a review, and comment on your podcast. Commenting on your podcast, your favorite podcast app. Maybe you're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube. I really appreciate this. This helps us to rank high in the podcast world, and it supports the channel so we can continue to bring you valuable gems on music production. We really appreciate it. All right? If you look below in the link also, if you're just getting started producing beats and you want to get the producer's pack, the producer's bundle, that link is below, as well as the Akai 25 mini controller. All right, the little keyboard that you can use to get started. And I still use mine. I still have one over here, but the one I have was purchased a while back. They have some new ones out. That link is below if you want to cop that. All right. That's it for today, friends. Thank you for listening. To all the dope music producers out there, keep producing that life-changing music. All the aspiring music producers, go out there, man, and get that work in. Join us in changing the world one beat at a time. Comment below if you have any other tips or questions you would like to share. Help me help you. I pray this will inspire you to get started in your music production career and make some life-changing music and money. Have an amazing day. Let's get that work. See you next week. This Trey Boy. I'm out. Peace.